Oh, my dear, lovely shadow dwellers. Tonight, we delve into the echoes of eternity itself. Take a seat, dim the lights, and steel your heart, but make no promises to your sanity. Let us begin. There exists a shard, a simple sliver of unknown material that gleams not with light, but with absence, as if it swallowed the very essence of illumination. It surfaced one day, unmarked and unbidden, in an antiquities shop named Timeless Obsessions. Strangely poetic, isn't it? That which defies time, hiding among baubles of fleeting significance. Antoinette was the shop's owner, a woman steeped in unshakable skepticism. She loathed the whispers of curses and supernatural nonsense her customers babbled about. A pragmatist to her core, she claimed the shard was just a piece of obsidian. Yet no one knew how it had come into her collection. It had simply appeared. Antoinette noticed it surfaced in people's conversations the moment they saw it. Customers would glance at the shard while purchasing other items. Their words often came in riddles like, "Is this truly yours? It can't be owned, you know," or "How can something shimmer so and make no light?" Puzzling remarks that would fade into nothing as soon as the bell jingled and they exited. One brisk evening, as autumn's chill clawed the air, a pale, gaunt man entered, his eyes sunken yet brimming with intensity. He didn't stroll, no. He slithered between rows of clocks and vintage books like a predator in search of prey. When he spotted the shard, he froze. His voice, when he spoke, was almost a whisper, a dagger barely grazing the eardrum. "Sell this to me. Name your price," he demanded. His tone made Antoinette's skin prick, though she would never admit it. She refused him, emphasizing the item wasn't for sale. But the man leaned closer, his glassy eyes locking with hers. "You don't have the faintest clue what you possess," he murmured. Then, abruptly, he turned and left without another word. That night, something odd happened. Antoinette secured the shop as she did every evening, ensuring every door and window was tightly locked. Yet, as she extinguished the final lantern, she felt it. An odd pull, like an invitation emanating from the shard. It gleamed in the moonlight, more vivid and alive than anything should be in such dim surroundings. Against her better judgment, she reached out and touched it. The sensation startled her, icy yet burning, smooth yet jagged. The shard seemed to embed itself into her palm, though her hand bore no mark as she withdrew. That's when visions overtook her, flickering images of herself, but as if reflected in 1,000 jagged mirrors. These weren't just reflections. They moved differently, smirking when she frowned, crying when she smiled. They weren't her, but they were. In the following days, Antoinette found herself slipping through strange cracks in time. A customer would ask for something, and suddenly, she'd hand it to them without recalling where or when she had retrieved it from. She began hearing voices, not distant or ghostly, but coming directly from the shard itself. They whispered secrets about anyone who glanced at it. Dark secrets. One woman who purchased a pocket watch had poisoned her own husband. Another, a young man infatuated with rare coins, had an insatiable craving for arson. The shard didn't just reflect Antoinette's essence. It changed her. Her cold pragmatism gave way to an insatiable curiosity. Could she trust the whispers? Each night, her sleep surrendered to bizarre dreams. In these, she stood on the precipice of a great void, holding the shard, which whispered promises of eternal knowledge, yet also of eternal damnation. The gaunt man returned. He entered the shop in a frenzy, sweat pooling along his gaunt cheeks. "You've touched it, haven't you?" he hissed. Antoinette met his glare with feigned confidence. "What if I have?" His laughter chilled her to her marrow. "It's chosen you," he said. "The shard doesn't let go. It won't shatter. But you? Oh, you will." That very night, Antoinette dared to test its power. Holding the shard, she focused on unraveling the web of whispers it had woven. Time bent inward. Past, present, and future collided in a cacophony. She saw herself older, holding the shard like a talisman. But her other hand was empty, the fingers worn to brittle husks. She saw herself younger, rejecting her father's plea to work on his farm. Then, she glimpsed something else entirely. It wasn't her. A figure. A shadow. Or was it made of shards itself, each one reflecting nightmare fragments? It watched her, studying her through the fractured lens of hopeless eternity. At dawn, Antoinette awoke clutching the shard, covered in shallow cuts, as if her very dreams had been sharp enough to wound her. She decided to do the unthinkable, to destroy it. She threw it beneath a waste compactor, but instead of shattering, the machine imploded, violently sucked into itself as though dragged into a black hole. Panicked, she cast it into the sea, only to find it nestled in her shop the next morning, untouched and unmerciful. The shard's whispers grew louder, more insistent. Promises of power mingled with laughter so cold it scorched. By the week's end, Antoinette stood in her shop, the edges of her reality beginning to fray. Where the counter once stood, there now stretched a mirror-like void. She took one final look at herself, but the reflection wasn't hers anymore. It was the shadow from her dreams, wielding the shard with a smile that wasn't human. No one knows what became of Antoinette. The shop is still there, though, sitting as timeless as its name suggests. And if you were to visit, you might find the shard. Oh, but don't touch it, darlings. Unless, of course, you wish to see eternity's horrifying reflection. Would you dare? So tell me, are you still brave? Or have you already reached for the light switch? Either way, sleep tight, my shadow dwellers. Until next time.